Hi Dots. Good to see you. Welcome to All Signs, guys. This is for the second half of March 2026. We are currently in the midst of a Mercury retrograde. And I believe it's tomorrow. Mars and Mercury will be meeting up together. So they will have a conjunction. And then Mercury will meet the North Node. And then Mercury will turn direct. And then meet the North Node again right away because it's really hovering right over top of that North Node. So when it comes to the next couple of weeks, this last half of March, it's interesting because when it comes to Mercury, which is really about your mind, right? The way you're thinking, your thoughts, but it's also about your communications and contracts and getting things done in a sense, because both Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. And so really kind of getting your ducks in order. So right now you're in that reflection mode, really having to look back on things. But once it meets Mars, you might find that there's certain things you've really got to cut out. Like it could be certain thoughts you're having that you're really, you know what? These thoughts are just not good for my own psychology. The person maybe I'm becoming to change my reality. I know this is a thing that I literally was just kind of the last couple of days, but it really started to come in strong earlier today of like, ooh, those are thoughts I need to get completely done with, and replace them with something way more suitable to the new identity, the reality I'm wanting to create. It could also feel like some of you with this Mercury Mars, like you could be something like you're done in the way you communicate. You could feel like you're wanting to end something or cut something out. There may even just be where the next couple of days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, you could have heated battles with people, like really harsh communication, meaning, look, the passion's ignited. You could feel very fiery. You may say things you might regret that you cannot take back. So your words almost become weapons. So just be mindful of that over the next couple of days. But then also Mercury will meet up with the North Node and also go turn direct on the 20th. Okay, so we're going to finally start to see some forward momentum. All planets will be direct, I believe, at this point, because now Jupiter's direct, right? So we have Venus, Mars, and then Mercury. All of our personal planets will be direct. And then you have Jupiter that just went direct a few days ago, last week. You have Uranus is now direct. Saturn and Neptune, Pluto, they've all been direct for a while. So we are in good shape. This is where we're going to see a lot of movement happening. Things are finally going to feel like they're going forward. But with this also, we have this new moon in Pisces on Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. And this new moon in Pisces is interesting because it's happening at 28 degrees of Pisces in a nice sextile to Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus is currently kind of been hovering. It's starting to move away now because it's been moving away from the star Algol, which is like kind of like the beheading star, but it's also a wealth star. So it's kind of got like these very deep, polarizing energies where it's known as the Medusa star, where like you can get beheaded, lose your head in a sense of like lose your cool, right? Not necessarily your head literally, but also it's a wealth star. And so there could be opportunities with this new moon in Pisces, especially with it being in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, its last kind of stick, of activating a new a new cycle for you in your Pisces house of your chart, which Pisces rules our dreams, it is like the womb of what is about to be gestated, right? Where we go right into Aries, where finally things are starting to take form, the beginning. So this is about perhaps Pisces rules healing, it rules imagination, it rules unlimited boundaries. So, meaning like this could be where you're finally pushing beyond limits that you've maybe previously had before. It's also the house of meditation, hospitals, prisons, all of those kinds of things. But it also involves music and film. And Pisces is very compassionate and very empathic. And so I would say that there's I would also say Pisces is very much the sign that gets us the closest to God. Okay. So this is where we feel oneness, where you go into the deepest parts of your own unconscious, but you also can connect with the superconscious. So there is an element of being maybe needing to truly surrender to something much higher than you, coming in a higher path that is maybe being guided by not you now, in a sense of how your mind has been operating, but giving it to God, so to speak. But there is this door opening energy, right? An opportunity from Uranus shaking something up. Perhaps when it has to do with your money, your resources, it's going to create an opportunity. Now, this is not the sort of new moon that it's just going to kind of flow right to you. It's the kind of moon where that is going to require you to take action, which I'm going to get a little more into in a second. Also, important to note, the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter in Cancer, and it is now direct, which is nice. It's going to be making a trine to Mars in Pisces. So this is also activating action, right? So this is what's kind of nice about this new moon is that Jupiter, from like the sense of where you feel secure and your own sense of feeling at home and safe in your body and things of that nature, your personal inner world, that is all getting expanded for you to take action on perhaps a bigger dream of yours, something that requires a deeper level of healing. Okay. So all of that is kind of happening with this new moon. Now, also, is there anything else that I wanted to say about the astrology? Um, I mean, there's other things, but I don't want to get too deep in the weeds there. I think most importantly that you guys need to remember is that now we have all planets direct for a little while. I believe we have all planets direct until my birthday, May 6th, when Pluto will retrograde, retrograde in Aquarius. So, and that's on May 6th. So until from the 20th of March until May 6th, if I'm not mistaken, if I am, someone correct me in the comments. I'll pin your comment. But I am pretty sure we have all planets direct for 6 weeks. Take advantage. Okay, take advantage of those 6.5, 7 weeks to get stuff done. Remember, we are in the year of the fire horse. And I want to make something very clear to you guys when it comes to the fire horse. This energy is so potent and so strong. It's got a lot of speed to it, that if your energy is not focused and clear, okay, focused and directed, it will start to cause chaos in your world. Okay. So it's really important that whatever it is that you are wanting to shift in your life, change in your life, make it better, you have to be so fucking clear, okay? And so focused, meaning imagine like you just have to have almost like tunnel vision, okay? Where like it's all you're allowing yourself to see. So for instance, one of the things that I'm doing for myself by creating a whole new identity for myself is really understanding what is it that the old identity did and what is it that the new identity will no longer do because of what's kept me stuck. Okay. And then what is it that the old identity didn't do, but the new identity does, because it actually moves me forward and it actually starts getting me closer to my dreams and my bigger goals. Right. So being very clear about that can be very, very helpful. So like understanding that and having it all written out and knowing like I'm writing about it every day. So it never loses sight. This is the kind of focus and clarity you need. And if you want help with that, I still have my Fire Horse Identity Accelerator reading on. It's in the description below. Guys, that is going to be open until the end of this month, okay? At the end of March, I'm going to remove it off my service. So do not allow this year that has so much opportunity, energy to get you into big, big leaps forward in whatever it is that you want this year. Do not try to just DIY it if that is always what you've done. Okay, this is where you have to do things differently. So for instance, I myself am someone who will often just try to DIY it, or leave it up to me, I'll figure it out, That is something I've completely abandoned ship on now. That is something that I will not allow myself to get stuck into because it takes way too much energy, it takes way too much time, and I could have answers faster and what I need to start moving now with the help of someone else. Okay, so just something to really think about there. Now, tomorrow I have the podcast and it's a really, really good episode, guys. When I was interviewing my guest, I was enjoying it so much, which doesn't always happen because I kind of know where people are going because they're saying like really some similar things that we hear often, right? But this client, I was just so excited about how she was expressing herself and some of the wisdom that she brought forth, which was really cool to hear. And also, she is going to be sharing with you how she was able to control a DMT release from her pineal gland, okay, through her jaw and into her nervous system, how to control it and control the release of that was created through her own body's response. So no other substance, not ingesting any kind of psychedelic, but truly how she was able to generate that on her own and how it's completely changing her body, her business, her finances, all of that. Okay. So that's going to be a really, really fun episode tomorrow. And on that note, also becoming the medicine. Look, guys, let me just say this. If you are at a place in your life where you've learned a lot, if you're like me, like you've put a lot of time, a lot of energy, maybe a lot of money into learning a lot of new things, trying to get ahead of wherever you've been, okay, trying to move things forward, but it hasn't really panned out in the way that you wanted. It's important to note that when we're trying to change our reality, the only thing that's going to actually change it is action. Learning something will feed your brain. But action is what's going to rewire your brain. And that's what we want, especially this year when the energies are so strong. And so in becoming the medicine, what is so powerful about the work that we do in there, it's not just you showing up to these live sessions in a group with me and listening to me talk and you taking notes. No. We are getting you to implement what I'm teaching you right away. First session, you guys are going to be doing it. You're going to be feeling it. I want you to be in your body. And as you will also hear on tomorrow's podcast episode, the body is the top tier level for spiritual mastery. Because this body is what's going to change your whole reality. It is in control of where you are currently right now, and it's deciding whether you're going to move forward into a new reality or stay exactly where you are because of the nervous system. The nervous system, all of the neural patterning, okay, that your brain is currently wired to, is going to keep you exactly where you are unless you know exactly how to change it, how to navigate when the anxiety and the fears and the big life shit that happens regardless. In fact, it happens more often every time you're trying to make a quantum leap in your life. Okay, you can rest assured if you're trying to quantum leap right now, shit's probably hitting the fan for you. It's not rainbows and unicorns and you riding off into the quantum leap sunset. That's not how it usually goes down. Sure, it can feel like that once you're on the other side, but to get there, the transition usually requires like a real hard reset of who you are. And so in Becoming the Medicine, I'm teaching you not only how to attract more, okay, but how to train your body to hold it so you don't lose it the second you get it. Because that's something that I had to go through, where I started generating more wealth in my business. I started generating more health in my body. And then all of a sudden, just as I was like, I got it, all of a sudden, I even had the thoughts of like, oh, but can I just stay still? Because what if I can't make more money? Or, oh, what if I stop doing this? Then I might, not be as healthy. Or like, all these like random thoughts start coming in your head. And before you know it, the nervous system's kicked into gear. And this is why it's so important. Your vagus nerve is responsible for sending your brain 80% of your emotional narrative. Okay, so whatever you're feeling, whatever you're telling yourself in your own emotions, that vagus nerve is sending it to your brain, 80% of it. So if you don't know how to correct your vagus nerve by calming your nervous system, doing a whole vagus nerve reset, okay, and knowing when to like jump in and be like, no, because you are going to have to be like that diligent, tough love parent on your body saying, no, we are not doing that again. We are not going into that anxiety. We are not doing this. It is one of the hardest things to overcome. And it's why so many people stay stuck in the patterns that they are, despite trying everything under the sun to shift their reality. I've been there, trust me. And I know a lot of my clients have been there. So if this is something that this year you're ready to shift, you want to, one, hold more abundance and expansion than you've ever held before. You're ready to go to the next level of your life because you've been at the current one long enough and it's actually feeling stale. It's no longer feeling like success to you. In fact, it may even start feeling like you're regressing. This is for you. Okay, I'm going to teach you not just how to do it when I'm there, but how to do it whenever you want, on demand. And you'll hear from my guest tomorrow how she's already doing that. Okay, so link is in the description below. We start next week, March 25th. All right, so what else? Is there anything else that I wanted to kind of drop in here for you guys? Look, we are in some very interesting times. The energies are a fire. In fact, I know Nebraska is under a huge fire watch, right? Well, not even fire watch. Like they have a massive, I think it's like over 500,000 acres of fire right now. This is something that Neptune and Saturn in Aries is going to bring. So if it's bringing it to our world, it's bringing it into us. And Aries, of course, is the initiator. It's the fire starter, right? It's the spark of the entire zodiac cycle. But Aries really represents the self. It's the Fool in the tarot deck. And the Fool is there to get ready to be wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready for an adventure, ready to go out on your own, explore something you've never done before, right? Mark your trail. It's a very trailblazer kind of energy. But when you bring Neptune in, which yes, is foggy and it is a water planet, but it's also the planet of smoke. Okay. And so you bring Neptune into Aries and you have Saturn in Aries, which, is again, Saturn rules Capricorn. So very earth element. It can really spark up a lot within us. So this is where we want to make sure in this year of the fire horse, which is already bringing in that crazy energy, but we also have Neptune, Saturn in Aries, really lighting stuff up inside of us and who we are, our identity, really making those big changes to start finally taking everything that we've learned through our healing, through our therapy, through our coaching, through our spiritual development, and putting it to the pavement, actually stepping into that identity, walking forward. It's really important that we don't get caught up in the chaos of what could ensue. So having the proper guardrails in place is extremely important for you right now for this year. So just keep that in mind as this year continues to unfold. We expect to see a lot more fires this year. I mean, I know here in Colorado, Nebraska, I think even in Wyoming, we have had one of the driest, hottest winters ever. So that is definitely going to be something we're going to see a lot of this summer, unfortunately. But keep that in mind just for yourself, okay? For yourself, of understanding that you don't want to burn out. Do not burn yourself out. But also don't lack structure, a plan, okay? That you can don't make sure you have a plan you can follow and execute, something that keeps you within guardrails to really succeed in what it is that you want for yourself this year. Because this is such an opportunist year. There is a lot of opportunity here for a lot of us, but if we're not positioned properly, if you're not prepared and positioned for the opportunity, it goes past you and it becomes a loss. All right. So this is where we have to know where to say yes and where to say no to. Very important. All right. Let's get into earth signs. Oh my gosh, that was a long one. I'm sorry, guys. Earth signs. Let's jump into your reading and find out what's in store for you guys for the last half of March. Oh, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's find out what is the, let me just, hold on a second. I hate being really low on my desk. I just want to say hello, Lucky Luke and Cassandra. Hello. Oh, you're in Colorado. Wow. Okay. Actually, I don't want to take that one. All right, let's find out what's the main theme of Earth Signs reading and what is the potential challenge. There's way too many cards there. Okay, and what is the potential challenge? We'll take the first one. Okay. All right. Just as I was saying, Earth Signs, the theme of your reading is chaos. Okay. All right. So just as I was saying, this is definitely something you want to navigate with precision. Absolutely. This, especially right now with Mars and Mercury kind of coming together, Mars making its way through Pisces and getting ready to enter into its home sign Aries, and then meet up with Neptune, meet up with Saturn, meet up with Chiron, like all of those. Like it's going to be interesting. Okay. So, guys, this is so like, I want to say, given, because here's your thing. Here's your challenge. The drowned king, okay? Which is kind of this is where we have to go through an ego death, right? The drowned king is like, okay, the ego, the crown, like of thinking like I've made it. This is where I'm at, thinking it's all that. And then realizing, no, there's better. There's more. I can do better. Like, I've been missing things. I have blind spots. So with this being in your challenge and chaos being the theme, I would definitely say, Earth Signs, that you might be going through a sense of really getting in check on your own ego of what's kind of in play. So let me just go to the actual chaos card for you first. Disoriented, spinning, groundlessness. So like there just could be a lot going on in your life right now, Earth Signs, where it could feel like it's a little out of control. Okay. When an alchemist sits in their laboratory amidst the presence of chaos, something miraculous is bound to occur. What did I tell you? Chaos is a precursor to a quantum leap, but you've got to know how to control those chaos, right? In a sense of what's the mechanism that's creating it. It's so powerful and all-encompassing that it typically overwhelms the student to the point of despair. Such is the nature of chaos. It's the grand trickster, the topsy-turvy confusion that turns life on its head and spins a web not even the wisest mystic can untangle. Baffling, yes. Disorienting, yes. However, it's the most potent point in the alchemical experiment. Wait, observe, do nothing. It is destiny itself that spins the web. Clarity will emerge one strand at a time. Your only task is to breathe, do not struggle. So in these moments, it's really important to not allow yourself to get spun up in the chaos, right? Which can be very difficult to do, especially if it's really big stuff that's coming up for you, because it will feel very overwhelming. And right now, like I said, with Jupiter in Cancer, just finally going direct, you have about a few more months. I would say 4 more months, 3-4 more months till Jupiter moves into Leo. And while Jupiter's in Cancer, this is where Jupiter is a teacher, right? It's the wise, it's the wisdom, it's the higher learning. And so this is where it's teaching us how to expand in our bodies. Cancer very much is about the body, our home life, our inner world, the nervous system, all of that. And so how do you allow yourself to not be so emotional, right? Because oftentimes when we get super emotional, the body goes haywire. The nervous system gets lit up, and all of a sudden it's just reaction, reaction, reaction. Literally one of my new things for my identity, which is an add-on, it's only come in recently, is to become so masterful over my emotions. Not that I don't feel things when I need to, but so that my emotions don't derail me and take me into places that I'm not wanting to go, right? It's about creating stability within inside my own body so my emotions don't take that away from me. And part of it's just to make me a better leader, but also it's just to make me better at everything. And so Jupiter in Cancer is definitely trying to teach us some form of that, okay, in a way that it means something to you. Now, when we have the drowned king coming in, this is, let me see here. Ego collapse, losing face, and humility. I'll tell you, an ego death is one of the most humbling experiences. In fact, a quantum leap will feel like one of the most humbling experiences you ever fucking go through. Okay, make no mistake about it. It is said that the aspect of the self that it is attached to, its title, name, and identity, is now requiring a process of transformation that must be dissolved. So who you thought you were is to become who you actually are destined to be, right? So again, evolution, you can't know who you're about to be without going through certain things, but then it gets to a point where, okay, now this version of me is keeping me actually stuck here. It's expired. So this again, ego death, not voluntary, that's for certain. Through circumstances beyond your own control, the king is brought to their bottom, so brought to your knees. So many of you may feel like you're kind of on the verge of being brought to your knees. Maybe you've already been there. You keep finding yourself there. Let's kind of see where this tarot card is reading, because this tarot card reading is going, because this is something like that was definitely happening to me last year. So let's find out. What do we need to know about the past here for my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Okay, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. we have the Ace of Crystals in reverse. Coming into the current energies, we have the Two of Stars, which is the Two of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Stars in reverse in the heart of, yeah, you guys are feeling stuck. You guys are feeling stuck. Okay, what else? Oof, and then the Ten of Cups in reverse. Definitely, these are for my earth signs who are really going through it. If you're not really going through it, this is likely not for you. Coming into the future energies. Okay, we have the Two of Wands. The Seven of Crystals in reverse. Okay, and then we have the World in reverse with the Temperance card upright. Finishing off your spread. Overall energy, yeah, Six of Wands in reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this is for my earth signs who are really going through it, okay? Do not ever try to make these readings fit if they don't feel like they're for you. It means they're not, okay? These are general. So with the Six of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands underneath it in reverse, look, you're feeling disappointed. You're not happy with where you're at. You don't feel like you're having the kinds of successes or achievements that either you don't feel recognized, you don't feel seen, or maybe like even you don't see them yourself. And with the Seven of Wands underneath the deck, in a beautiful way, in one way, it's like it feels like you're giving up. But at the same token, the Seven of Wands in reverse also is a sign of surrender, which is a very important state to be in when you have the Chaos and the Drowned King here in your oracle positions, okay? So this is where, for some of you who are really going through it, it's been tough. You've been definitely on a ride and you're kind of wanting off the ride at this point. You're like, this is not the ride I signed up for. What, you know, what's going on? So when we look at your past, you have the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Crystals in reverse. So for some of you, you might be super emotional right now with the Queen of Cups in reverse. You might just find yourself in tears or just like your emotions are all over the place. Maybe you can't understand them. For some of you, you might be hiding your emotions and trying to keep them from people around you so they don't see like where you're really at. With the Seven of Cups in reverse, it's also like you're feeling like you're out of options, you know, like you just like, there just isn't, it feels like your back's up against a wall. You don't know like where else to go. There isn't really much option of where to go, at least from the perspective that you're seeing. And with the Ace of Crystals here in reverse too, it feels like ideas, there might be an idea that you had, but it may not be translating just yet. There might be delays around a shift, maybe in perspective, a perspective shift that you need to have might be delayed, but also it feels too like maybe an attempt to change the situation has also feels like either it's not going to according to plan, there's some kind of delay, something of that nature, okay? Now, coming into the current energies, you have the Two of Stars, the Knight of Stars in reverse, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So you're having to make a choice, okay? Over the next couple of weeks, Earth signs, you have to make a choice. Some of you are needing to balance stuff out with the Two of Coins here, but you're ultimately going to be hitting a point where you're feeling so stuck that you're like, I need to do something about this. And with the Ten of Cups in reverse, for some of you, it will feel like, I think some of you feel like you're losing a grip on your bigger dreams, what you've planned for yourself, the way you saw things unfolding for yourself. But I want to say, given what I'm seeing coming up in your future, it doesn't feel like that, okay? Or at least it doesn't look like that. The Ten of Cups in reverse, it's kind of presenting, it's showing you like it feels like you just don't know how to, like, it almost feels like it's out of reach, like you're trying to reach for it, but you can't. And it's like you just don't know how you're going to get there. Like that's how this energy feels. So coming into the future energies, you have the Two of Wands, the Seven of Crystals in reverse, and the World in reverse with the Temperance on top of it. So you're definitely at a fork in the roads. The Two of Wands is usually like there's a timeline split, right? But timeline splits require choices. And so you have to choose where you want to go. Do you want to stay where you are? And I know it's really easy, like, no, fuck, Nicole, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to stay in this shit. Like, it's shit. I don't want to be here, right? But what are you doing to get yourself out of that? And is it different than anything else you've ever done before? And that can sometimes feel really hard because you're like, well, I don't know what to do, right? I've tried everything that I do know. I don't know what to do. And so with the Seven of Crystals kind of coming up here in your, in reverse, it does feel like for some of you, there might be a point where you have to, the Seven of Crystals in reverse is kind of like going back to returning to the scene of the crime, right? You may need to go back to the drawing board and really kind of relook at like what has been going on here. What is the culprit? Like really getting honest with yourself. It's a very humbling moment, this Seven of Crystals in reverse. It could also mean like, I'm kind of getting tail tucked between your legs kind of energy of like, sometimes it's for like needing to make an apology, like apologize for something, have a reconciliation. Maybe that's what's needed in your situation. But it's also about understanding it's this drowned king energy, okay, of realizing shit. I have to be so fucking humble with myself. I have to be super honest. Like whatever spiritual bypassing, glasses I was wearing, I have to throw those away and really get to the truth of it. And that's really what this feels like. And so it finally feels like, the world here in reverse is showing you that you're at the point of really closing out a long-term chapter. But before you can actually do it, the Temperance card is calling for some sort of alchemy. Okay, some sort of, yes, healing, but it feels like almost like a magic trick, which I don't say like it's that easy, just some sort of magic, but it's going to feel like you're having to perform some kind of sorcery in a way that is positive. Okay, I don't mean negative stuff, but to create the bridge from the old world to the new world. Okay. And that also is showing me when Temperance is coming up, the way you close is there's going to need to bring calmness, right? Patience, which when chaos are happening can be very, very difficult to do, right? It's like, especially if you're exhausted, especially if you're burnt out, like you have zero fuse left. So this is where like you really have to buckle down and like call upon every last hidden resource that you may have within yourself. So let's kind of see where this is going with the actual clarifiers. But I do see that for you, this is going to require, for some of you, you are going through this identity death, something where your ego keeps you stuck and like believing certain things, that keep you where you are, where you're at, and you don't want to be there anymore. And it really is about getting out of this chaotic cycle. So let me see the Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah, okay, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. We have the Four of Wands upright. And the Queen of Cups. Oh. Yeah, it's like, I feel like, with the Eight of Wands here in reverse, it feels like there is, like it's a full stop. Like there's a loss of understanding of what to do next, right? Like what do I do next? Where do I go? And with the Four of Wands here and the Queen of Cups, for some of you, this may involve your family. This may involve a very important person in your life. And with the Queen of Cups here, it's something you deeply are emotionally like attached to, you care for, right? Again, the Four of Wands can also talk about a contract. Like maybe it's a contract that you've created for yourself, when it comes to like your dreams and goals. But wherever it is, you're not happy about this. Okay, you're not happy about where it's going. It just feels like it's at a full stop. Like it's to the point where you're like, I almost want to give up. Like, what's the point? But at that's a very fine line too of like where you have to be in order to surrender, right? So keep that in mind to my earth signs. What's this Queen of Cups? Okay, we have another Ace of Swords in reverse in this line. And there's your Seven of Wands again in reverse. Okay, you are really feeling it here, earth signs. You're emotional, it's just like, I would say that also it doesn't feel like you can wrap your head, like you don't have the clarity that you want to move forward. And I think part of it is because the emotions are clouding. It's like you can't give yourself you don't have a moment of peace to really get that clear picture of what it is that you want. I will say though, because this is in your past, that this also was creating like a surrender moment for you already. So I feel like you may have even already been through at least a version of where you're either wanting to give up or you're just like, I got to do something differently. But I don't know what to do. And so I'm just giving up, surrendering. What's this Seven of Cups in reverse? Okay. The Hermit and the Four of Swords in reverse on your Seven of Cups in reverse. It feels like you've already gone deep within. You've done a lot of the spiritual work. But you're also like with the Four of Swords here in reverse. It's like you can't just meditate your way out of this. Also like there's anxiety here, right? Like there's it's almost like, what's it called? That leg syndrome, restless leg syndrome. It's kind of got that energy of like, you just can't sit still. But you also like, it almost feels like I don't know if you want to go in here and you haven't been able to, or you've just spent so much time inside that you're like, something just has to change now in my actual outer world. What's this Ace of Crystals in reverse? We have the Four of Pentacles and the Star in reverse. Yeah, you are like, there's delays here around you really shifting your reality. Okay, because the Sword, when it's upright, the Ace is about like, okay, it cuts through, right? Makes a whole new reality by doing that. Like when it slices through one thing, now there's two. It can never be the same one thing again. But what's happening here is that you're holding back. There's something you're holding on to. And it's like, I would say too, with the Star in reverse, I'm going to say that it feels like what you really want is almost slipping through your fingers with this energy. And at the same time, there's a tightening. It's almost like you're suffocating your dreams through holding on to something that you shouldn't be holding on to anymore. It could be about old belief systems, the way you're perceiving your world. I'll tell you, the way I shifted my reality was one day I was like, fuck this. I'm just not looking at it this way anymore. And I'm not even going to look at that. I'm changing. And I'm only seeing the evidence of everything that I've been trying to shift. And at first, you have to really look hard and you have to force yourself not to look at it. So it could be something like that. It could just be a matter of like specific beliefs. or even like an idea. For some of you, this could be an idea that you're so certain, like this is what it is, but you're holding on to it, but really it's what's holding you back. Like it's something else, but you're not willing to let go of it to really allow your dreams to kind of come forward. What's this Two of Stars? Getting a lot of similar cards coming up here. Okay, you have the World in reverse, or you also have the Hierophant. Okay. Look, you have a choice coming up in the last half of March here, Earth signs. And it's either continue in the upside down world that you are currently in, or because whenever I get the Two of Stars, it's giving me a choice, right? It's giving me an option. And we've got two cards here. And so the Hierophant is the higher path, right? It's also about maybe even needing a guide, a mentor, someone who's already been where you've been, or is currently where you want to be, to give you some like sage advice on how to get yourself out of this. And it's like, if you keep trying to find the solution in the chaos, you might be there for a long time. You might find it, but you might exhaust yourself, burn through more resources, time, all of that. Or you could go into a higher path with the Hierophant. That the Hierophant also is bringing a traditional structure in, okay, where maybe you might need that, Earth signs. What is the Knight of Stars here? Because here's where it all comes to like a head with this Knight of Stars in reverse. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, you're going to hit a breaking point, Earth signs, but it's going to get better. But you are going to hit a breaking point. You have this Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands in reverse on your Knight of Stars in reverse. Look, some of you, this is about money. Some of you, this is about your own self-value, your worth, how you see yourself, what you actually have to offer the world. And you're at a point of giving up because you just feel so fucking stuck. Like things just aren't moving. And at the same time, all of this chaos is around you, right? So it's weird. It's like, it's draining you. It's depleting you. You feel utterly depleted in many ways. For some of you, it's just in a specific area of your life. For some of you, it might be multiple areas of your life. What's this 10? I mean, look, Uranus and Taurus last month? We have one more month, 5 weeks left of Uranus and Taurus. I think it leaves at the end of April and goes into Gemini. This is where everything about our self-worth, our relationship with money, our resources and how we use it, right? That is all getting shaken up for the last time. Uranus is not the kind of planet that goes out quietly. It's gonna like make itself known. It's a lightning bolt of energy. So as it's getting ready to kind of go into the 29th degree of Taurus, which is like, again, a Plutonian degree of death and rebirth, okay, complete like breakdown, you are also on the verge of a breakthrough. I want you guys to know that. It's important. Like this shit doesn't come up unless you're on the verge of a breakthrough. The point here is like really allowing yourself to go through this ego death, to really surrender, like, okay, who do I need to fucking be in order to change this situation? What's this 10 of Cups in reverse? Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so a lot of like the delays on your dreams and what you're wanting for your happiness, and you have the Seven of Cups in reverse. It's interesting that there are so many repeating cards from your main deck into like the clarifiers, because that's telling me that you've been in this cycle repeatedly for a long time, and it's time to break that cycle. Part of the problem is that with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, you've been trying to cut corners. You've been trying to like see if you can like hack it this way, hack it that way. And it's like, if there's anything that I've learned from my experience that I can pass on to you guys, there is no fucking shortcut. There is no fucking shortcut in this kind of quantum leap for you. It's literally requiring a whole new level of you to do things in ways you've never done before, with a level of persistence that you've never had before, that you've never applied before. Like, do not think that, you know, how you've done things in the past are going to cut it for now. And that's what, like, I think is happening here, that you're going to be realizing, and that you can't, and that's actually what's making you feel like you don't have any other options. It's because it's that kind of trying to shortcut it, thinking like what used to work is still going to work, is what's actually creating no options allowed. Like, it's the wall, and the universe is going to keep putting that wall in front of you if you keep doing that. And so the whole point is it feels like earth signs, you almost have to go in a way, I don't want to say back to square one, but in a sense, yes, of like, okay, let me just get the lay of the land. Let me look at this again with fresh eyes and go right back to the beginning. You know what? It's like really going to the heart of the matter and not trying to like just do the shallow surface stuff anymore, because it's just not going to cut it this time. What's this Two of Wands? Okay, more chaos, Five of Wands. So you're at a fork in the road where, and you have the Temperance here in reverse, like impatience, frustration, drama, chaos. What else do we have on this Two of Wands? And then, or Ace of Cups, opening up to new dreams and possibilities for you, new hopes, okay? Something that actually fills your cup up. So this is where you're at a choice point, and you're going to really feel this over the next couple of weeks here, earth signs, where you really have to get very, very honest about what's not working and what you're going to do differently. Okay. And it's going to start with parts of yourself, your own identity, your ego, of what's really holding you back. What are the things that you thought, you know, were good enough, but aren't cutting it anymore? Like, yeah, it worked before, but it's just not enough to get you where you want to go now. Right? What's this Seven of Crystals? Because you are on the precipice of a new opening here. You have that here for you. Okay, the Seven of Crystals in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So here you are. This is a very humbling experience for my earth signs. I don't want you to feel like I'm picking on you. I'm an earth sign as well. Okay, this is like, I'm sure it's like, oh, fuck. Like, you know, I'm sure that's what's kind of going through your head, but I can't even express to you enough how good this is to have this humbling experience of like bringing yourself back down to earth, really kind of unpacking where you've maybe been letting yourself down. Okay. In a sense of like letting the hopes and dreams and visions that God of the universe has been putting in front of you, and how maybe like you're like, have I really been doing what I need to do get there? Or have I been just telling myself I am, but not really? You know, like there's a moment where you have to really get honest with yourself. And I feel like that's coming in, and it's almost like there's like a self-apology coming in here for you, like a reconciliation. Like in a way, remember, Seven of Swords in reverse is a reconciliation. This is a good thing. This is allowing you to move forward. Yeah. Four of Cups. Okay. So that you don't stay in a place where you don't like being, right? This is also about seeing like, okay, I do have offers from the universe. Do I actually see them? Do I actually see them, or am I too busy just looking at the shit in my life? And this is where like oftentimes things are trying to be gifted towards us. Like the universe could be saying, hey, if you here's something like a sign, but in your head you're like, oh, I've already tried that, or no, that's not going to work, or that's too expensive, or nothing ever works for me. It maybe work for someone else, but it won't work for me. Like whatever the thoughts that you have in your head, because again, with 2 Ace of Swords here in reverse, it's something about like really changing. Again, this Mercury retrograde about to go direct in a few days, is about really getting into the deep, deep, deep unconscious thoughts, okay, that we have that really limit us from achieving the dreams that we want. So when we get to the World in reverse with the Temperance card, okay, we have the 5 of Swords in reverse. So this is where I see you putting down the resistance, right? Like no longer trying to fight an old battle. You're like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. It's like when I realized that the shit was going to keep happening, because I want to make this very clear. When you're in a midst of a quantum leap, shit's still going to happen. Those, like I said, those echoes of the old world, the old reality, the old identity still come in. It's up to you to disengage. And I see you disengaging from the old world, the upside down world, and taking a more calm, present, alchemical approach, okay, to changing your reality. What is, let me see what this has got here. It's like, how you have like someone in your life, it doesn't matter like what kind of relationship it is, but there's someone in your life who's just always wanting to fight. Like I had a family member, I have a family member who used to just always want to fight, It didn't matter what it was. There was always a reason for this person to fight or pick a fight, and it was just exhausting. And you get to a point where you realize, I'm just not going to participate in this anymore. It gets me nowhere. All it does is deplete my energy, which means I don't have the energy to put towards the things that actually like make me happy, that actually give me things in return, are reciprocating, right? So, look, the King of Swords in reverse. This is the drowned king right here. The King of Swords in reverse is the drowned king, literally even the same fucking colors. Okay. Like, well, you guys can see it. It's blue. It's like you are flipping your ego up on its head and saying, nuh-uh, old identity, not fucking working anymore. I'm not engaging with you. It's like you're really going through this deep alchemical process. And I will say, for those of you who are really like, you're not sure how to do this on your own, okay, just get my fire horse reading. It's in the show. It's in the description. Don't fucking wait. Don't wait. Not in the year of the fire horse. If delaying, procrastinating, waiting has been your mode, okay, your modus operandi right now, like do something different. Whatever you have been doing, do something different. Okay. That's the most important thing that I can say to you guys. But I do see that you're finally going to make that shift. And this is where you're probably going to see going into April and May, where you start to see some of the shifts and changes from that. Okay. So, earth signs, that's my reading for you. Very important to, like, if you're already feeling the chaos, jump on it. Start planning, start getting into the nitty gritty of what is not been working that you keep trying to do, and being like, well, I'm not trying that anymore. And what have you not tried that perhaps deep down you've been thinking about, but you keep pushing it aside. Like maybe I can shortcut it this way and I won't have to do it this way. I promise you, the thing that you're resisting the most is the thing that you need to do. It's the thing you need to do. Just do it. Just do it. This is the time where it's time to like jump on it. Don't delay stuff any longer. That is like, I will say this, delaying 95% of the people out there will delay and procrastinate after learning something that they know they should do, but they don't. Okay? They don't actually take the action. And when you delay something over and over and over again, you're continuously hardwiring failure, an identity that doesn't actually want, like doesn't get what it wants, okay, and starts to believe that it's just not for you. And that's 95% of us. 95. 5% of people who learn something and then actually implement it are super much more successful. Why? Because the action is what hardwires your brain. Okay, just learning something feeds it. Action is what hardwires it. Remember that. Remember that. Okay, so we're going to move on to water signs. And okay, let's see if we can get through these a little bit faster. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's find out what is the, actually, we need to shuffle all your decks. Well, let's find out what's in store for you for the last half of March. Remember, this is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I would say if you're in your mid-40s or older, your sun may start to feel more accurate than your ascendant. Not necessarily always, but it could be. Just because you've lived a good chunk of your life now and are starting to become your sun, not just what you entered the world as. Your sun is also usually pertains more to your career, your purpose. But your ascendant really does give you the big picture of everything. Okay, so it covers anything and everything. Moon, your home life, your body, your inner world, family, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, if you're listening for your Venus, that could be money, that could be your relationships. Okay. Let's find out for my water signs. And let me know. Let me just see who's in the chat here. Carolina, Magic. Good to see you. Dots, you're welcome. Actually, let me just do something so I can actually see more of the chat here. There we go. Okay. Now I can actually read the full chat. Oh, Carolina, you're in Queensland. Okay, I just want to say I'm a huge Survivor fan. I love Survivor, but more than Survivor, I love Australian Survivor. I don't know if you guys watch it, but just because we have someone from Australia here in the live chat, I love Australian Survivor. It's so much better than the US version, like so much better. Like the casting's better, the challenges are better, the way they still go back to the old like 45 days, not the 26, which I'm not a fan of. It's just, it's so much better. Like the game, the cunningness, the wittiness of the players are just so much better. Anyways, I don't know if any of you guys are watching it, but to any of my Australian friends out there, I am watching Australian Survivor with you right now. All right, let's go. Let's find out for my water signs. Okay, and what's the potential challenge? Okay, we have the main theme of your reading is sap of the moon plant. So this is like the nectar of like the hidden realms, the hidden world, the mystic, right? So let me see here. Here we go. Nocturnal sacred water of the unconscious. So it's a substance said to be born of water, plant, and moonlight. It develops in the depth of night and is thus a metaphor for the wellspring of the unconscious. When this alchemical magic is afoot, it's all about dreams. The answers you are seeking will not come from the intellect nor the opinion of others. It will surface from the depths as if rising from the ancient waters of your memory. The work is to restore, and awaken your celestial senses. Do this by pausing, by releasing your grip. The sap of the moon plant signifies you are in deep territory of destiny and the imagination. It's a mythic moment. The dream is waiting to show itself, but awaits your sincere invitation. Ask and rest, all will be revealed. It's also important for you, water signs, to track your dreams for the next 3 nights from when you're watching this, okay? So you are kind of on the precipice of a shift in destiny, using your imagination to bring forward perhaps what it is that you've been shown in your visions. Again, tapping deep into those unconscious waters of what's there. The problem here in your reading right now is that your challenge is fog, which is a very Neptunian card, right? And so fog is saying that is telling me like there's something you've been wanting to get really clear on, you've been wanting clarity for, but you've just not received it. I would say, water signs, over the next couple of weeks, it's really important for you to perhaps go deeper into your unconscious work, your dream worlds. I would definitely be journaling things that come through your meditation more meticulously, your dreams more meticulously. There might be answers or clues that you're needing that are going to help lift the fog that you're currently under. Okay, let's see. Let's kind of see where this takes us. I would also say, with a new moon coming up, water signs, with the new moon in Pisces, again, all about your deep unconscious waters, this would be a really good moon to use water, ceremony, moonlight to perhaps call in what it is that you're needing clarity on. Ask for the fog to literally be lifted for you. But use water, like a bowl of water, use them. It was almost like get the water and charge it under the moonlight, okay, and create a ceremony around like a new beginning for how you're navigating where you are right now, and asking for like the solutions, the clarity, whatever it is that you're needing to come forward in the easiest unencumbered way for you. All right. We have the Page of Stars in reverse, going into the past here. We have the Page of Cups in reverse. And we have the Magician. Okay. Coming into... Okay, so we have the Five of Wands coming into your current energies. So again, resistance, chaos, possibly even a little... Oh, we have the Tower in reverse in the heart of your spread. And the Two of Wands in reverse. Coming into the current, the upcoming energies, the future energies, we have the World upright. We have the Six of Cups in reverse. And we have the Chariot. Overall energy, Queen of Stars, which is Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and underneath it is the the Eight of Swords, or Eight of Crystals. Okay. Hello, MMW. Madeline, good to see you. Oh, Christy, you don't have to stay, honey. You don't have to stay. If you don't like the way I do my readings, you don't have to stay. It's okay. They're going to be a little longer today. It's just where I'm at. Mercury's in retrograde. But you may need some patience. All right. Looking at your main deck here, your overall card, there's something where you're not feeling good about your personal success, you know, maybe even your status in the world. This might have something to do with your position at a job. And with the Eight of Crystals here in reverse, you are likely overthinking a lot, okay? You've been trying to possibly like figure something out, overanalyze situations. Like, it's just like you could be even just spinning your wheels, whether it's just in your mind or like in anything else that you're doing. But it does feel like this relates to job, security, even like status for some of you, okay? Of like just in your own personal success. Now, in your past, you have the Page of Stars in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Magician. So again, with the Page of Stars in reverse, I don't know if you were trying to learn something here, learn something new, try your hand at something new, whether it was a skill or what, but it's like with the Page of Cups here in reverse too, it's like you're trying to tap into a new dream, but you don't know what that dream is. Like, it feels kind of far away. And I think that's why you have this fog here, is that you're struggling to get grounding. Like, everything still feels very new. Like, this is very young energy. So it's like about trying to, Page of Stars, trying to do what you need to do to get to the next place, but also not feeling like you're maybe laying down the right foundation. Are you doing the right things? Are you learning the right skills that maybe you need for something to get to the next level? However, it does, with the Magician here, it does look like though you may have started to manifest some things. You have been definitely putting stuff to use. So I do want to say to my water signs out there that if you feel like you've been spinning your wheels and not really getting back in return anything or very little that makes you feel at any kind of sort of ease, things are happening for you, okay? You just may not see it yet. Now, in the current energies, you have the Five of Wands, the Tower in reverse, and the Two of Wands in reverse. So, okay. For some of you, it's going to be a bit of a tough go the last half of March, in a sense of a little bit of a bumpy ride. But I think it's going to get you, though, to where you want to be. So again, Five of Wands, there could be some conflict. It could be conflict at work. It could be conflict in your home, around you, wherever it is, there's going to be some sort of conflict. And with the Tower here in reverse, this could be pertaining to something that already has happened that shook up your world in the past, that's somehow being brought up again. Like, there's a reason, there's something tied to it that's going to be resurfacing. That's also going to push you towards stepping onto a path that, again, you don't know where it's taking you, but you're like, you know what though? I just got to do something. Like, it's kind of like you're trying to at least move forward, even though you don't exactly know where you're going. And this is part of the energies of 2026 is, especially with the North Node still in Pisces, is you're not supposed to have the full plan. You're not supposed to know. Like, you're supposed to be giving it to God, to the universe, to your higher self. Like, it's really about letting go of whatever plans you think you've had and really honoring a bigger plan that is ultimately much better for you, but you don't have the perspective yet to see how. So it's hard to understand that. Coming into your future energies, you have the World, the Six of Cups in reverse, and the Chariot. So I actually see you actually making a huge achievement coming up here. This is why I'm saying whatever's happening in this last half of March, don't let it get you down. I think what it's happening is it's almost, it feels like it's retweaking you, repositioning you, getting something out of the way so that you can finally like move in a direction that you need to. Because the World card's coming in here, finally putting an end to a big, big chapter, but it's also an achievement coming in, something that you're going to feel really good about. With the Six of Cups here in reverse, there could be some issues with children that are coming up for some of you at this time that you're going to have to deal with. This could also be something from the past coming up that you're going to have to confront, but you're moving forward. You're finally getting forward momentum here. So it's weird because there's something in this Six of Cups energy with, you know, the two kids on it that feels like it brings a finality, like that's the last straw kind of energy that allows you to fully put something behind you and fully look forward in a new way. So I'm wondering if that's what's kind of going on here. Let's kind of clarify the Queen of Stars in reverse. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Magician in reverse. So like, it's just been hard. Things haven't been coming together for you. You feel like your back's up against a wall. It's just been feeling like, why are things so slow? Why are things just not manifesting right now for you? And again, this could be related to a job, a position, a status, your finances, something of that nature. Let's see what this Page of Stars is. The Empress in reverse. And the Death card. Ooh. So kind of going through a transformation. Okay, a death and rebirth transformation, big change here, just even of who you've always thought yourself to be and who you're kind of becoming, from a place of really reevaluating where your worth is being highlighted in this world. So when it comes to, you may have had to learn a new skill, or you've put off learning new skills, or you've been trying to rework things to highlight you in a new way. Has also meant like, what am I willing to put to bed that is no longer suitable or acceptable, I should even say, for you to have what it is that you want. So there's been like, even the Empress is the feminine card, right? So there's like even like a deep death of your own femininity in a way, and I say that even for males, like your own feminine energy. So the parts of you that are creative, that are more emotional, that are connected more intuitively. Like there's something that's kind of been going through a deep, deep change here. What's the Page of Cups? Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. So I think you were kind of really realizing that you did need to reposition yourself. And then we have the Hangman. So there's like, you have these dreams, right? But they still feel very new. It's not in a place where you've gained a lot of momentum, you've got a lot of traction. But what I'm seeing though already is that you started to lay some of the groundwork here. The problem is that you're also in a holding pattern. And I really think that you've needed to see things from a completely new perspective. The way you were viewing things is not the way that you could see. The way you were viewing them was not allowing you to see potential answers. So this is where the sap of the moon plant really comes in handy, where we're really kind of bridging the deep, deep inner world and allowing for the moonlight, right? Light of the darkness to be shone on it. What is the Magician? So for some of you, you may have had like some of your darkness, like shining light on some of the darkness within you, the things that are like, yeah, that's not something I can carry with me anymore. So that you can move forward. You have the Three of Wands in reverse. So again, it's like you're wanting to manifest, but things still feel like they're not coming the way you wanted to them, like in the timing that you want, at least. It feels a little delayed here. But you're putting in efforts, you're putting in work, I do want to say. Yeah, and the Devil in reverse is like you're trying to get yourself out of a place where you felt really stuck, in a place where maybe there's been a lot of triggers of fears. Maybe you've been in some kind of toxic holding pattern, whether it's with someone else or just in general. But it's really about breaking yourself free from that place of not wanting to be where you have been. What's this Five of Wands coming up in your current energies, water signs? Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So this could be some kind of conflict coming up with like a friend of yours, you know, with the Three of Pentacles here in reverse. It could be someone you're working on a project with, but you also have the Lover's card coming in. Now, this is telling me you're going to have to make a decision, okay? So some sort of conflict's coming up, but it's forcing like some kind of decision or putting a decision on the table at minimum. And it's about understanding that one, things just aren't building on the right foundations. So it's going to need either a complete rehaul or walking away from something and building a new foundation. But something's going to happen here. You're going to have some kind of conflict arise. What's this Tower in reverse? You have the Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, we also have the Ten of Swords with the Six of Cups. Okay, so I want to say that there's something that feels like it happened in the past, okay? Like this isn't a Tower moment that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks for you. It's something that's going to resurface from a very past kind of Tower moment. It's something that took you by surprise, shocked, and it's bringing up a really deep wound, okay? But it's bringing up a really deep wound so you can finally move forward in a way where you never have to revisit it again. And it's kind of also bringing in some hope with the Six of Cups here. Something that's really tied to either someone like a soulmate kind of energy, or energy that feels that you're destined for. It feels like there's a reason to be happy and I don't want to say at peace over, but it feels really good. It feels good for you. It's going to bring up that nostalgic energy of like, oh, okay, I remember this feeling of like good times, or remembering like it's not all bad, you know, like you are getting yourself out of whatever it is that you're getting yourself out of. What's this Two of Wands in reverse? Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Tower again in reverse. Look, you are moving towards, you're finally moving on a path, a little unknown. I will say it's unknown. Okay. But it's also on the heels of knowing that there was kind of a shakeup, and you can't, like, you need something more stable. And whatever was the reason for that tower moment in the past, it's like you're slowly moving beyond it. Because the way even this cards have fallen, like the Knight of Pentacles is moving away from the tower. So it's like you're really finally moving away from whatever's really shaken up your life. It's slowly, though. I want to emphasize the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. However, it is the knight that always completes, it finishes. Okay, so this is letting me know that you're going to be doing what you need to do. Now, again, your clarity isn't coming in yet. It's not like fully, but it's almost like there's some kind of light that's been ignited that's allowing you to move anyway. What's this? The World card. Okay, wonderful. So we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Strength card in reverse. So you're going to start to realize that you're actually a lot stronger than you've given yourself credit. And I think given what you've been going through, water signs, it's natural to feel like you've been run down, life's kind of worn you over, right? But when push comes to shove and you really need to hit the pavement, you do. And you've got a huge change coming in here. A really good change where that really puts an end to something for you in a good way, where you're like, finally, okay, good. That's behind me. We've achieved something that we've been wanting to achieve. Like you finally have success, achievements, completion, moving in your favor. What's the Six of Cups energy in reverse? Okay, we have the Six of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of forward movement coming in here for you, water signs. Some kind of conflict is what's going to bring it forward, though, like finally get you to put your foot on the gas. And the Seven of Pentacles. So for some of you who have children, it feels like there's going to be some kind of conflict around children, maybe with a child. That you're ready. You're like, yep, no, we're not dealing with this anymore. We're putting it behind us. This is happening no more. With the Seven of Pentacles coming in, it's almost like, it feels like you've almost been waiting for this moment. Okay. You maybe even have been preparing, laying the groundwork for this to actually take place. For others of you where this doesn't involve children, this is about either someone very important to you, like a soulmate kind of energy. Again, does not have to be romantic, but it's either for like that or something that you feel so tied to. Okay, so tied to in a sense that like your destiny and it is very much interwoven. And it's like there's something about being able to move towards that you're finally putting behind you. Like there's a cycle that you're breaking. And it's really because you've paused. And I really think this is going to be important for you, water signs. There's going to be a moment where you really pause for a second and you really assess what's going on. And you're like, no, this is not what's going to bear me the fruit that I want. This is not worth me putting more time and energy into. We're not doing that anymore. And really kind of taking your energy, your resources, and for some of you, maybe you're even money, okay? And you're no longer putting it in that place. You're taking it with you. You're moving in a different direction. And then, of course, we have the Chariot, which is telling me you're absolutely making more forward movement here. We have the Ten of Wands coming in. So this is telling me that for some of you, this is really kind of moving forward, perhaps still carrying some heaviness, but still being able to move forward anyway. For others of you, it's like really putting an end to what's felt like a very, very challenging time in your life that has weighed on you heavily. Yeah. And the Three of Swords. So it's like you're finally moving on from this energy. You're moving beyond it. Something that has maybe even caused you heartache, has caused you a lot of pain. The Three of Swords, it feels like for some of you, you could be leaving someone in your life behind, or at least in the way you deal with them. Like you're leaving that, like you're like, I'm not dealing with this anymore, right? But for some of you else, it's like there's a way that however way you're moving forward is allowing you to also leave that behind, like it's giving you more momentum and it's giving you more direction. So there's something that's happening here with a conflict issue, something from the past that was a very kind of triggering, shocking kind of moment in your life. And I would say like probably within the last 6 months, is going to kind of resurface to really kind of force the movement forward and get you to understand what path you like, a direction that you have to walk on, even though you don't understand the path fully yet. And then you have more change coming in here, and something, it feels like it's to do with someone that you're like, no, we're not putting energy in that anymore. And it doesn't necessarily, for some of you, it doesn't necessarily mean you're leaving the person behind, but the way you guys handle something could finally be like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Otherwise, we're just going to stay in the same like little cluster all the time. So you got movement coming in, water signs. It's going to be good. It's just, I think what you have to understand is, again, maybe that's part of this Mars Mercury energy that's happening this week where, you finally have a little bit of a blowout or a powwow of words with someone, which, be mindful of because you don't want to go too far on that. But where you're just like, no, okay, no, like no. And that kind of brings you clarity on like what has to get done to change things. So that I feel like some of you have felt like you've been taken advantage of or kind of, and then fucked over in a way, right? So that is like something that you're kind of ending that's also pushing momentum for you in other areas of your life. Because I do feel like for some of you, this was also about job and money with that Queen of Pentacles in reverse, elevating your status, bringing in new skills. So hopefully that'll work out for you. Let me know, water signs. Okay, we're going to move on to air. Air signs, you guys are next. You're welcome, Carolina. All right, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's find out what's in store for you for the last half of March. And let's get your main deck shuffled. All right, air signs. Let's find out what's in store for you for the last half of March. We'll look into what is the main theme of your reading and what is the potential challenge. Okay, so air signs, the main theme of your reading is lead, which can be heaviness, right? It's got this Saturnian energy to it. So it could just be that things have been pretty heavy, maybe really hard for you lately. Just feeling like, I mean, the whole alchemist kind of journey is turning lead, which is your pain, your challenges, your obstacles, into gold, with your dreams, right? And so what is it you want? The challenge for you is coagulation. So this is about maybe having things stick. So it could be that maybe you get some traction, but it doesn't stay. It could be that maybe just in general, things coming together has just been really difficult. So I don't know if you're kind of juggling two separate entities that need to come together, or if there's two things that you're dealing with that have to absolutely be on the same page. Things, people, whatever. But let's kind of take a look at where this is kind of going for your tarot. So what do we need to know about the past for my air signs? What do we need to know? Okay, we have the 7 of stars, 7 of pentacles, and the 6 of crystals, which is the 6 of swords. And then we have the death card. Okay. Page of stars coming up into your current energy. The world in the heart of your spread. And the 8 of crystals in reverse. So far, really good reading. Let's see what comes up in your near future air signs. The High Priestess. The King of Cups in reverse. Ooh, and the King of Crystals in reverse. There you are. I wonder if that's the two things that are having a hard time coming together. Maybe you're dealing with a water sign or someone who's got water sign qualities. But the overall energy is good. It's Knight of Cups. With the 9 of crystals in reverse. So there does seem to be an offer coming in here for you, air signs. Something that you've been wanting, something that you've been maybe hoping for, wishing for. Someone might be offering you that over the next couple of weeks. And I would say whatever it is, it's kind of putting to rest some sort of anxiety, some sort of stress, something that maybe you've lost some sleep over in the last little while. In the past, we have the 7 of stars, the 6 of crystals, the death card. So it does feel like there was a little bit of maybe needing to take stock of your life or a certain situation, circumstance, and really looking at what you're getting in return for what you're putting out, right? Like you're kind of like, let me just weigh the scales and see like what's, is all of the effort that I'm investing into this actually giving back to me what I deserve? At least keeping the bank, in a sense, like equal, even. But you've needed to leave behind something that has felt like a pattern of yours for a while, and you're ready to explore something new. You're like, okay, I need to leave this that I've known for a while. And the reason why you leave it is just because it doesn't really work so well for you anymore. It doesn't give you the same kind of results that it used to. And you're going somewhere that it's a little less known, right? Because it's going to be new. But you're also kind of heading there with a little bit of guard on, like, what am I getting myself into? You also have the death card here. So there is an ending that looks like has happened here in your past, some kind of big ending. This death card is really like a big spiritual awakening, in some cases, where there could have been need to really let go of something in order to have this ability to like transform. So as you're like moving forward, you're also going through this process of letting go or an ending of some sort. Now, in your current energies, I actually really like this for you, air signs. You have the Page of Stars, the World, and the Eight of Crystals in reverse. So it does look like you're learning something new. There's a new energy also around building up more security, building up more money for you. And I want to say with the World card here, for some of you, this might involve travel. Like might be something here that's requiring you to travel, to, but also to, this is about an achievement. So it feels like there's a big achievement on the kind of horizons here for you. And you're starting to like lay down the right pathway to that. And some of that might be needing to put down a little bit of an investment. Some of you might be about like it might be about learning new ways on generating money for yourself, putting yourself in a better position financially. Whatever this is, it's really taking pressure off of your worries, your fears. Especially for you air signs, you can overthink a lot. You're very mental. And so with the Eight of Crystals here in reverse, it's like, if you felt stuck, you're going to feel unstuck in the end of March here. Like you're kind of feeling like you're finally getting out of a place. Now, the Eight of Swords is a card where you can feel stuck, but really you're only stuck because you thought you were. Is just kind of needing a perspective shift on getting yourself out of that. So I really see a nice shift here coming in. Now, where the coagulation and the lead really come into play is down here in your future, where you have the High Priestess, the King of Cups in reverse, and the King of Swords in reverse. King of Crystals, same thing. So there's something that feels hidden with the High Priestess here, something that's not like still feels like a mystery. And whether it's the mystery of how this is going to finally come together for you, if this does indeed involve someone else, for some of you, this is literally maybe about getting head and heart on the same page, right? Like the part of you that has really mastered your emotions and the part of you that's really mastered your mind and really kind of getting on the same page of what that is. For others of you, this might actually be another person, or it just could be about something that logically seems like the right answer, but your heart is more tied to this. So there's something here where there's an unknown. So where you're going to really lean into to bridge the gap, we'll kind of see where that's going to go. Because it does feel like you're trying to bring something together, something just to finally stick, right? But there is some success here in the last half of March. So what's this Knight of Cups? Okay. I think where you are finally going to get recognized on something that you should have been recognized for earlier, and it might be on a really important idea that you've had, or, like you're going to be recognized for a certain decision that you've made, and something good's going to come your way out of that. Something that's going to also like relieve you, like I said, of like these stresses or worries. So really this is about finally getting recognition for either a big decision that you've already made or are making, or it's like a big idea, that you're trying to get momentum behind. What's the Seven of Stars? We have the Emperor in reverse. And the Knight of Wands in reverse. So, okay, you might be dealing, again, it might involve someone else here for you, air signs. I don't know if there's someone who has a higher authority around you that's maybe been not so easy to deal with, that's maybe caused you to pause and really reflect on like where you're putting your time, your energy, or your money. And it would feel also like this person is like not definitely not dependable. But they almost feel like sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. Like you just never know what you're getting. It's too spontaneous and not in a good way. And so for some of you, this might even be about your own sense of being your own boss. Okay. Like if you're a business owner or you're kind of like, really kind of like, is this working? Because maybe business isn't going the way that you wanted. Like sometimes it's good and sometimes it's just not, but it's too unpredictable for you. And you're kind of reassessing like how to solve this. What's the Six of Crystals? We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. For some of you, this is about moving on from friendships that are no longer good for you. For some of you, this is a work-related thing. This could be like a project that is just not for you, that it's not working, and you need to move on from it in some way or reconcile a solution for it. We have the Seven of Cups here too. So I wonder if like the problem was too many options. Sometimes there's confusion when the 6, 7 of Cups comes in because it's like, I don't know if it's this, it's that. So I'm wondering if you've been dealing maybe even with someone who's been like too hard to work with, to get movement with. It doesn't have to necessarily be work. We're going to move on from it. So what's this Death? And it's also like I see here too, like the Three of Pentacles in reverse is like realizing whatever foundations you were laying down, like they weren't the right ones. And maybe it's time to tear it up and rebuild. And it's still new enough that you can do that, right? What's the Death card? So air signs, this might be you kind of going through your own, ooh. Wow, okay. We have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords on the Death card. Well, I think it's safe to say it's very minimum you. Air signs of going through what feels like a big transformation, a big change. For some of you, I don't know, for some of you there might have been an actual death, which in that's the case, I send my deepest condolences for. But like, I don't know if you had a plan and really were so like, no, this is the way, this is the way. There may have been some kind of something that you had to go through. You're like, you know what? Might have to let go of everything that I thought was the plan and how I was going to execute it because it's just not coming together. It could also be that there's two people here that are going through a massive transformation together as well. It could be two air signs or just two people who are very like air-like, a little more stoic, a little more mental than emotional. Let me see what this Page of Stars is. Okay, well, this is good news. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming up on your Page of Stars. So there's new openings, new beginnings here. And in some ways, it feels like, I do feel like you're going to get some news in the the second half of March. That is about building either new, like laying down new groundwork, new security, like something that you feel more secure with, that feels more stable, more promising. And also it could have something to do with resources or money or business for some of you. There's a good change coming in here. Your luck's kind of turning around where you felt like you weren't getting what you deserve. It feels like you might start seeing that change, where it was hard to maybe receive, bring money in, generate sales. Or if you've been waiting on something that you know you deserve and you haven't received it yet, that could all be shifting here. What's the world? Because you are getting like an offer here. And so that changing is good. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands. For some of you, definitely travel. Something to do with travel is coming up in this last half of March. That is probably like going to open up new opportunities for you and also close an old chapter. For some of you, this is about, again, you're going to be getting some news here, air signs. There's no way around it. There's something's going to come your way here. You have the Queen of Wands. So it's like, I want to say you are, because either someone's coming in with a very desirable option or offer for you that is like really clear cut, like it's coming in fast, it's coming in hot. And it really feels like this is going to either spark some big travel opportunities for you, or it's going to finally get you the achievement that you want while also closing out a chapter that you're ready to move beyond, right? Like you're ready for the next thing. The Queen of Wands energy it's just like there could be someone who's coming in who's really like attracted to what you're doing or offering. So if you've had a hard time putting something together, it also feels like someone's coming in to help your idea that you haven't been recognized for. What's this 8 of Crystals in reverse? Yeah, 3 of Wands. You're going to finally start to see some manifestation in the last half of March. Things that you've been hoping for, gearing yourself up for to bring towards you. It's been hard, okay? You got the 10 of Wands here, but it's finally like you're getting unstuck. You're seeing it come in. You've gone through a lot of the challenges and obstacles. So it's finally like some hard work's kind of be paying off here for you, air signs. What's this High Priestess? Okay, we have the Hangman in reverse. The 2 of Pentacles in reverse and the 2 of Wands. Sorry, the 2 Pentacles upright, 2 Wands in reverse. Okay, so there's a mystery here, right? With the High Priestess. I don't know. Some of you might be going to visit, I don't know, an intuitive, a psychic, or someone who might be helping you with this. But it's going to like open up a perspective for you. Okay. Like there's something that's going to get revealed that has been hidden, and it's going to show you your options. It's going to show you both sides of the coin, so to speak. And, it feels also like you're going to see a path forward that has felt a little uncertain to you. It feels like you're going to get some more insight into that and more revelations around that. That's going to really start to open something up here for you in getting things to finally stick. But what is this King of Cups and King of Crystals? Let me see. Okay, so the King of Cups in reverse is clarified by the Hermit and the 3 of Cups. And the King of Crystals okay. The 4 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords in reverse. Okay, air signs. it really feels like you need to follow more of your heart when it comes to making things stick. There's more reason to find celebration. It feels like if you keep trying to follow the logical path, that's what's going to keep tripping you up. And so when you're trying to get on the same page, it's like it feels like you had a well thought out kind of plan, or I don't know, you've had a roadmap, something that you were really ready to execute, or maybe you've already been trying to execute it. But it feels like that's what's really kind of keeping things from sticking. And the thing that's going to actually make it stick for you is what's kind of where your intuition, going inward, allowing the big one upstairs to kind of really guide you on this. So it's all about intuition and heart for you. That's going to really bring a lot of this together, and it's going to finally help things stick. So it feels like you're going to get some insight. Something's going to get revealed to you. And I will say that it feels like it's going to be pretty obvious. That's what it feels like to me. So it doesn't feel like you're going to struggle much. I think the struggle is more of like being able to let go of how you thought it was supposed to be or look like, and really be open to a different way of that unfolding. Okay, so air signs, that's my reading for you. Let me know. Drop stuff in the comments later on. Let me know how that's unfolding for you. And of course, if you're just dropping in now, please hit the like button. Just to help support the video and my channel. I appreciate it. And we're going to move on to fire signs. You guys are next. Okay. So Aries, Leo, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. You guys are next. All right, fire signs. I will say, if you are wanting clarity and guidance and fast direction with what's the identity that's going to get your quantum leap in 2026, my Fire Horse reading is still available until the end of the month, and then I'll be closing that. So I've left that in the description below this video. Okay. Aries, Leo, and Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's find out what's in store for you for the last half of March. We're almost done the first quarter of 2026. All right, let's find out what's the main theme of air signs reading and what's the potential challenge. Okay, what's the potential challenge for my fire signs? You have rainbows in both of them. Okay, so the main theme of your reading is wise salt. All right, so I want to go into the book for this one, just because I'm looking at your challenge. There we go. Wisdom, grit, and preservation. It's a sacred ingredient of preservation. So in due time, with due experience, you will develop the granules of wisdom that you can someday pass on to another. Salt retains, preserves, and absorbs. It brings complexity to flavors and grit to slippery roads, such as the magic of salt. So someone who carries wise salt is immediately recognizable. Their words hold meaning. Their stories are deep and true. They have wisdom that cannot be attained by any other means than decades of pain and pleasure. You may experience wise salt through the elders of the community. So when this card appears, know that everything you're going through will be of use down the line. Alchemically, you're being brined. Preserve what you can, let go of the rest, and lean heavily on your elders. Okay, considering what I'm looking at for your challenge, I want to say, fire signs, that you are going through a process that is literally like brining you. So sometimes it's hard to understand where like what you're going through is going to become really true wisdom for you down the road. But I also like feel like what you're going through may be very helpful for you to lean on someone you consider to have the wisdom of where you're currently at, because they're already beyond it. I say that because your challenge is Peacock's Tail, which really is about, it's about inclusivity, but it's really about having 1,000 eyes, right? It's about being able to see things multidimensionally from different perspectives, different angles, different spectrums of colors. It's about not just seeing things through the same old lens that you've been looking through. And so this being your challenge, I'm wondering if there's been a difficulty sometimes when we're really heavy into something or fully involved. This is why always having someone else, whether it's a good friend, a mentor, a grandmother, a coach, therapist, whoever it is that has the wisdom to see things from a different perspective than you've been able to see them from, like really opens up and shows you all the other colors and spectrums that you're missing here. I will say too, though, like this is also one of those things where, like I mentioned on, I don't know if I've mentioned this in the podcast that's coming out tomorrow. Can't remember. But anyways, I've said this before. Like yes, actually it's going to come out in the podcast tomorrow. So you may want to listen to this episode tomorrow, just after what I just said. There are so many things that I've done in my life that I thought I had done something, followed the universe, or where I thought like, oh, this is going to be a great thing. And then it never really worked out. Like it wasn't bad. I learned something, but it never really panned out. There are quite a few things of like that nature that have happened to me, but later down the road, sometimes decades later, sometimes 2 decades later, okay, I have then been able to understand, oh, now I see how meaningful that is to this. And you can actually draw upon it. So it's almost like having stuff in the bank that you don't even know you're going to need. And then you eventually like, oh, I can cash in now on that. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're going through what you're going through, or if you're in a place where you're worried about what are you making the right choices? Are you making the right step forward? Is this the thing that you're really supposed to be doing? Maybe it isn't, but maybe it's still going to like pay off like down the road that you actually do need in the future. Sometimes we get too linear in how we approach things or look at things. So let me see what we need to know about your past here, fire signs. Okay, we have the Death card in reverse with the 4 of Crystals in reverse. And the 2 of Crystals. Oof. All right, fire signs. Let's see what's coming into the current energies. What do we need to know about the current energies? We have, Ace of Stars, Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, and the Sun in the heart of your spread. First reading to get the Sun. in the heart of your spread, no less. Yeah, we have the King of Crystals in reverse. We have the Emperor, Aries energy in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse, 10 of Cups in reverse. Don't freak out, fire signs, on the reversals, okay? Overall energy, yeah, that's what we like to see. 2 of Cups and the Moon in reverse. Love it. Okay, so definitely for some of you, maybe this is about relationships, some relationship kind of coming together, going to a new level, that sort of thing, getting on the same page. But this is also just about, like, again, 2 things finally coming together for you in harmony. Like it's almost, I want to say, I don't know why I want to say meant to be with this particular card, but I do, so I'm going to say it. So that's your overall energy, okay? Now, the Death in reverse, the 4 of Crystals in reverse, and the 2 of Crystals. So in the past here, fire signs, it looks like you've had trouble letting go of something, whether it's like letting go of a version of yourself, letting go of the way life has always been, letting go of maybe an idea you were really married to, whatever it is, you've had trouble letting go. And it's created quite a bit of restlessness for you. Some of you may have been like, I don't know, just like really kind of tapping your foot and being like, all right, like what's going on here? It's almost like I'm getting the energy of trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Okay, so that's what it feels like. You've been kind of in that energy. And then I also see the 2 of Crystals. So it's kind of like you're at like a crossroads or a place where you have to like, which way do I go? But you don't know. And so you're at a stalemate, right? The 2 of Crystals is just showing you here at a stalemate. Well, that is all shifting for you in the last half of March. The Ace of Stars. So there's a new beginning here where either you're making a new investment, there's a new way of maybe even making money coming up here for you. But it's about creating more security and stability for you that you can depend on. And the Sun is just bringing in so much optimism. It's almost like I want to say there's new hope and new life coming here. The problem is, though, is that with the King of Crystals in reverse, is that you're likely having to, I want to say, if you had a plan or an idea that you were, like I said, something that you felt like you were married to, that you've had trouble letting go of. It feels like, again, the King of Crystals in reverse is kind of like having a little bit of an ego check, okay? And so there's all of this great stuff, but it's also like forcing you, like you have to have an ego check in order for this to kind of really transpire in the ways that benefit you. Because it does feel like it's there, but it's also like it's going to be so positive. So whether you've been wanting to invest money into something, or you've been needing to create new income streams or whatever it is, it just feels like it's going to be good, but it's also going to be a humbling experience for you in a good way. Now, in the future, we have the Emperor in reverse, 7 of Cups in reverse, 10 of Cups in reverse. Look, I actually feel like this is all positive. It just feels like there's a delay on this. So what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of you that are trying to take control of your life, in a sense of you might be wanting to really open up your own business or open up a new business. Some of you are wanting to go to a whole new level of leadership in your career, or just in the way that you're operating, like gaining more control over your life direction. But the problem is that it feels like there's been a lot of options and you haven't really known which options to kind of navigate. Because I see like your big dreams and your success are there, but they're kind of delayed. And I wonder if this is where, like, this is all like really understanding like how much you've maybe needed the support of someone who's maybe either been where you are right now, okay, or has the knowledge and wisdom to navigate you through this. It's about bringing this together. It has a very positive outcome, but I want to say like there's something that you're not seeing that someone else will see, and you've got to really make space for that. So let's kind of see where this is going. Two of Cups. We have the Page of Pentacles. And the Sun in reverse. So I do feel like there's been maybe a lack of clarity for you on how this is all going to come forward. And I think that's what you're looking for. Like, I feel like for you, fire signs, you've got a lot of passion there. Like, but I just don't know if you've been able to direct it in the right places. Or if you're overloaded too much in the mind, where sometimes when we have too much information, it completely clouds our thoughts and we get paralyzed. So, but I do see like new beginnings here for you that again could be about money, job. For some of you, it might even be about your health, okay, with the Pentacles. Laying down new foundations. This is about laying down the foundations that actually going to make you prosper. So what's this Death card? Ooh, okay. So we have the World and the Six of Cups. So you've had a hard time letting go, maybe in completing or achieving what it is that you want. It could be because maybe there's children in the picture, okay, that have made it more difficult for you. And maybe you're just not knowing how to navigate it with children and like as well, like how to manage both. For some of you, this is about like having a hard time letting go of what felt like a really like important dream of yours. Like it was meant to happen. But again, is it supposed to happen exactly as you thought? Like, so for instance, when I was in my 20s, I was so certain, my dream was I'm going to open up a wellness spa, I'm going to have my own spa, and I could vision it. I was mapping out exactly how I wanted it to look and everything. But then as I started to evolve myself and go through like my own levels of evolution, I realized, that's what I thought I was supposed to do. And it wasn't a bad dream, right? But it was a dream of like the first steps of me developing. And the more that I got to know myself and went through more life and the business and everything, I was like, this isn't where it ends. That's not like that. I could go that way, but I wouldn't be as fulfilled as if I went this way. So it's kind of like that energy, if that makes any sense. What's this Four of Crystals? So like also understanding that maybe your vision was, when I say immature, I don't mean in a bad way. Just it was immature in a sense that it wasn't fully coming from a place of a grown, mature you. Okay. It was coming from the initial stages, but now that you are who you are and where you are now, it's requiring more of you. So sometimes letting go of certain things we have to be okay with to proceed to the bigger thing. What's the Four of Crystals? See? Okay. The Death card. So it's like, Yeah, it's like you knew, like something's gotta give, right? Like it's gotta give. You're going through a big change. And you've been fighting it. 5 of Wands. Like you've had a lot of like restlessness over this. And it's like, and it's almost like you're fighting the death of what has to happen. Okay. So you've been kind of in this process of knowing that like, things are changing, but also like still holding on to a part of the old that isn't part of that change. So with the 2 of Crystals in reverse, we have the 10 of Cups again in reverse. So you have it twice in your, and then we also have the High Priestess in reverse. So you're kind of at this crossroads because you're stuck. It's like, what you want. Like you have this big overall dream, right? And how you think you're going to get there or how you think you're going to feel when you have that, there's something it feels got revealed to you here because of the stalled energy around this. Something was revealed here to you where you're like, ooh, I kind of have to face that now. I can't not look at it. Now, hopefully you did that because Ace of Stars coming into your current energies. What's this? Ace of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles and the Knight of, you're going to have to make a decision here. It's either you're investing in something or you're opening up a new way of generating money or security is coming here. You're starting something new, but you're going to have to make a choice. And it's also about understanding that it doesn't have to happen all at once. This is something that you want to take your time with. And sometimes when you've been waiting so long or you felt so stalled out, you're like, oh, I don't want to wait anymore. But this isn't about waiting. This is just about doing it in the correct way that's going to benefit you for the highest outcome. Okay, so make sure you don't confuse those 2 energies. But I see, though, that you're going to take action here to do it. It might be something that you slowly take action on, okay? But you're going to do it. You're going to do it. It's kind of like because you're weighing your options and you're realizing, like, I got to go with the change. Like, I got to go with the new thing. What's this? Sun? Oof. The Wheel of Fortune on the Sun? We love that. What else? Oh my God. Okay, I just don't know if you could ask for any better cards in one section. Okay, so you have the Star and the Knight of Cups. Ooh, big changes coming for you, fire signs. Something that's gonna okay, there's a way to really, I'm wondering too with the Sun here, if this has something to do with the spring equinox. Okay. Because I'm seeing like something's opening up here for you related to your hopes and dreams. But it requires action. Now, someone could be coming to you with an offer that could completely change the course here. And it's like, this brings new life. It brings in like the optimism that you need. It's just a matter of saying yes to it. Okay. So again, you may need to really have someone you trust around you to bounce off of, because I will say, fire signs, do not do what you've always done. Okay? Do something that stretches you out of your comfort zone. Whenever you're going to the next level of your life, your identity is stretching, right? Who you've always been is stretching. And so that can get really scary. And sometimes it'll just make us like, oh, no, not yet. And you'll contract. And you don't want to contract here. Not with these kind of cards. Let me just see what this King of Crystals is, because this does feel like a little bit of a humbling moment. Yeah, okay, the 5 of Swords. So where you've been struggling or trying to do it your own way, the way you thought it should be done, it's kind of like you lay your sword down, like you're realizing, oh, I might have been sabotaging myself a little. by not maybe doing this sooner and making the decision to say yes. The Ace of Swords, to change your reality. It's a big decision. You're making a big decision over this last half of March. It's going to really change things for you. Things are being presented to you. There's opportunities around you. So something's going to really shift it for you. Again, it feels like it's about making new forms of money or increasing the amount of money you make, or you're investing in something that's going to pay off down the road for you. And I say that because you've got the 10 of Cups in reverse twice, the Emperor in reverse in the near future. Okay, we have the Hangman in reverse. Whew. And the Devil. Okay, so for those of you where this is about, because again, all these reversals feel like delays to me. If this is about you becoming like, whether it's opening a new business or going into business for yourself for the first time, or taking a higher position than you're used to having, this feels like you're going to have a massive perspective shift about how it feels like you have almost been like your own worst enemy. And that's not to like make you guys feel bad or anything. It's just like, a lot of times, especially with Neptune and Saturn in Aries right now, a lot of us are going to see how we've been limiting ourselves, right? Through our own illusions and delusions of that Neptune energy. And so really having to take ownership, Saturn energy, like ownership for what we've done and taking responsibility for that, is shifting that. So I see that that's going to really happen here for you. And it's going to be a very pivotal moment. What's this that's going to kind of start to really release you from the grip of stagnation? What's the Seven of Cups? In reverse, we have the Nine of Wands. And the Knight of Swords. So what feels like where there haven't been doors opened, it does feel like doors are going to finally start opening for you. So be mindful not to give up. You're going to have these moments of feeling like it's never going to happen. And it does feel like you're going to be presented once you kind of have this little humbling moment of, and this is like not end of March, right? We're talking about now going into April of like, ooh, okay, but it's giving you so much clarity, and it's almost like it's paving a road for you that allows you to go faster. Okay. But like now that you know what path you're on, it's on that, it's making things even go faster for you. So it's like really amplifying that fire horse energy in a good way, because you've got the direction that you need. So what's this 10 of Cups in reverse? Okay, we have the Two of Wands in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse. So having your big dreams really kind of come to fruition and have those taken off the pause button, okay, because it feels like there's been a big pause around that, really comes from this, with the Page of Swords in reverse, sometimes there's like that little voice inside of us that's telling us all these little lies that make us feel like the pathway isn't clear yet. Like, I don't know which way to go, so I'm not going to take action yet. And I want to say that that is what puts not just you, but most of us in a state of not moving forward. So where people feel stuck is like they think that they've got to wait for clarity before they take action, but it's the action that brings the clarity. And it feels like you've already started to take some kind of action, and it's going to really hit you hard in a very humbling way, but needed way, because it's a life lesson, right? It's like you really learn like, ooh, because it feels like you may have waited a little too long. Like you could have gotten this done a little sooner. It was available to you sooner, but you came up with these reasons as to why it was not the right time or not to do it yet or that kind of stuff. Okay. So you're going to see how that is. But the reason why this is so powerful is because it's like you're putting it all in a place where it never takes that kind of control over you again. So it's like, lesson learned. I'm now not going to do that to myself and delay. And I see the errors of my ways. And now I've learned my lesson and I'm moving forward. So there's like a big, lots of wisdom coming in here for you. And again, it's going to come from you seeing things from all these new perspectives. So anything that's going to really open your mind, bring you into so much more of an expansive way of looking at things with that peacock's tail, giving you like 1,000 visions, opening your vision, including things that you may have not thought you needed to include, because you're hoping you could just get by with what you had. Okay. Like that's kind of where you want to be like, no, that was more of a lack mentality way of approaching things. So things are going to really open up here for you. When you start to see what the delay really has been about for you. Okay. Because there's going to be an offer. There's something that you have to say yes to. So just make sure you have the right people around you so you know what you're saying yes to. I'm not saying yes to anything that comes your way. Use discretion, fire signs. But there is something good here that you're going to want to say yes to. All right. So, fire signs, that's my reading for you. Don't forget, Fire Horse reading, is open until the end of the month. That will give you lots of clarity. And also my Becoming the Medicine starts on the 25th of March, which is next week. And tomorrow's podcast, guys, you're going to hear right from someone who went through it, who had psychedelic experiences without psychedelics, and how that got her business to a very busy place. More money, prevented loss of money, and avoided lawsuits. So all of that is in tomorrow's podcast, as well as, look, I think a lot of times when we're going through a very difficult phase in our life where we've kind of gone through a phase where we were like, yes, I'm getting it. I feel good. I feel solid here. And then you're like, all right, you see the next thing, like, yeah, I'm ready to go to that level. And you think you've got it all figured out. And then when you go to step forward, you fall flat on your face, right? And then all this shit just starts happening and life starts falling apart. And you're like, how the hell did this happen to me? Right? And it's like, we get in these places where we think because we've gotten to where we've gotten and we're at a certain level that somehow that precludes us from whatever is waiting for us at the next level. But there's always going to be a humbling moment before that next level because it requires way more of us, right? Otherwise we just stay where we're at. And what often is misinterpreted as a failure, or like, this is where imposter syndrome really sets in for a lot of us, where like, oh, I thought I had this all and now I don't, because look at my life or look at what's going on with me. And it's like, no, you don't understand. This is your initiation. This is where your mastery is beginning. Okay. And sometimes you don't understand that and you start delaying other things when really you don't need to delay them. It's just a matter of like understanding, oof, I have to go through this. I have to let go of the old. I got to like embrace this new stuff, and you're going to utilize it as fuel for your next level. And it's going to be the wisdom that you were lacking for that next level. It's not about the wisdom that you have at this level. Okay. So that's going to, I think, be a really powerful point in tomorrow's podcast for you guys. Because we talk about how my guest went through that, as well as where I have been through that. And that was recently. Okay. So like no one is safe from this stuff if you're getting ready, if you're on the precipice of like a major quantum leap in your life. Right. So, lots of really good wisdom Fascinating stuff about DMT release tomorrow in your body, being able to track it through your nervous system, having control over bringing in more abundance than you've ever known possible before. Like, we're going to get into all of that tomorrow. It's a really, really good episode. So, tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Guys, I love you. And if you know that you already want to jump into Becoming the Medicine, link is in the description below as well. Guys, I think that's it. I love you. Have a wonderful night. And I'll probably see you. I love you.